Right.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we just started why we actually that classes is getting popular. We studied the concept of inheritance, started with the inheritance, right? And what we discussed that I created a simple class known as an animal class. And in that animal class, we had two methods. One method was eat and sleep. Okay. So I created one class which has two methods, but in actually it may be possible that you have 10 method, 15 method, 20 method for a particular class, right? Now what happened? My boss asked me to create one more class. Okay, one more class known as bird class example. Okay, it may be anything available. You asked to create bird class. We know that the bird has almost similar attributes what animal class has. Example, the animal eats, so we have a eat method. Animal sleeps, so we have a sleep method, right? Example. So one option is that instead of inheriting, I can use these codes. Okay, what has been mentioned here, and I can type here like normal way. Okay, I did there. So my bird class will work without any problem. So if I execute this, it is perfectly going to work. I can create object of the same. And if I can see all three methods at my disposal, right? Eat, fly, sleep, everything is available. That is one way. But actually what happened, suppose your animal class has 50 methods. Okay, and you want to inherit all the 50 methods of the animal class. That is better. Now why you are writing again and again and again and again, you are doing that. Instead of that, why don't I inherit the attributes and the method of animal class? Okay, so when my objective is to inherit all the attributes and the method of the animal class, so instead of, I know that I need all three methods, eat, sleep, and fly. Okay, but I don't want, instead of writing these codes here, what I can do, I can inherit these methods from animal class directly by mentioning here its parent class. Means you want to create a class, a child class, which will inherit its property from the parent, that is animal. So I can mention this animal class. Okay, and if I execute this, what happened? Okay, I have not executed this. Yeah, perfect. Let me execute this. It has been done. And let me create an object of the same. And again, you will have all three methods as your disposal. See, eat, fly, sleep. So fly of his own, and two methods it had inherited from its parent class. So how much powerful it can be. Okay, this is the simplest class that I have created. Okay, but let's come now to a few challenges. Okay, now suppose you decided, okay, my bird will have an attribute. My bird will have an attribute, and for defining the attribute, there are different ways you can define the attributes, right? Means you can initialize, you want to initialize some attributes, but there are different methods we discussed yesterday. Three methods is there. One is init method. One we can create an empty class and directly assign our directly initialize our variables, or we can use our accessor method or mutator method. Okay, suppose I'm using init method, which is a recommended method. Okay, so if I'm using my recommended method, then what happened, I mention here def, okay, underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and after that I mention self. And suppose I will take an argument from the user. Suppose that argument is known as whatever name, whatever you want to give that argument name. Suppose age, example. Okay, age. And I default argument, I make it to be 0. And then I mention, after putting the colon, I just mention, I want to have one attribute. That attribute in the bird class will be known as age attribute. So I will mention self dot age because I'm creating at the instance level. That's why the word self has been given. So self dot age is equal to whatever user will supply. Okay, suppose user will supply age. Awesome. Let me execute this. Done. Let me create an instance of the same. Done. Let me come here. So I will have this time one attribute known as age attribute. Okay. And three methods, one fly method, one eat method, and sleep method. So if I press tab again, I will see four things: age, eat, fly, and sleep, right? I executed this, but it didn't ask me for any argument, but actually it needs an argument. If you go this, see, it needs an argument, but what we have said, remember, we have set the default argument to be 0. That's why it is not asking. But if I remove this, see, and execute this again, let it be, I create this again, okay? And if I execute it directly, it will throw me an error. Can you see, everyone? It is showing missing one required positional argument AG. Okay, you need to supply one argument which you have not supplied. But when I make it AG is equal to 0, that means I set a default argument. Means if user will supply, then fine. If user will not supply, then I will make this argument to be 0. In that case, I will make that argument to be 0. So if I execute again and I don't supply, still this will successful. And if I check its age, this age will become 0 only, because what we have said, self dot age is equal to age. Okay, so this age is what? 0. So 0 will come here and that will become the value of this attribute. So if I execute this, I will get 0, right? But if I want to supply, I can supply, suppose I supply 23. So this 23 will become, because what is mentioned inside, always read. Okay, whenever you're using any function or any method, always read. It will become the value of ag. So ag will become, example, I passed 23. So 23 will come here and your age attribute will become 23. So if I mention here 23, okay, and I check my age attribute, I will get 23. So far so good, everything is perfect, awesome, perfect. But suppose your parent class also has an init method. Now let's come, now there is a challenge actually. Okay, and let me mention downside, that will be better, so that there is no confusion. And when you, I will share this file with you, so when you see that, you can see the differences. So let me copy this. Okay, and I'm making a class to be, suppose, animal1. Okay, and one more class I'm making known as bird1. Bird1. Okay, I make a bird1 class, and this time what I want, I also want to have one init method, means one attribute of the animal class. So that is def underscore init underscore underscore init, and then underscore underscore, and then within the parentheses I mention self. And suppose I will also have a parameter known as, suppose, weight this time. Okay, animal have a attribute known as weight. So weight, I'm default value I'm setting again 0. Sorry, 0, and I put a colon, and I decided that I will have the attribute to be weight. So I mention self, because instance level attribute I'm creating. So self dot WEIGHT, that is weight, is equal to whatever value of WGHT is, that is WGHT. Okay, I create this class. So my class animal class has been successfully created, and let me inherit its attribute. Understand, I want to inherit everything of this class, this attribute, this weight attribute. Okay, this eat method, this sleep method, everything I want to inherit in my what, in my bird class, because bird I used to have weight as well, right? Everybody used to have weight. That's why people used to eat chicken, 1 kg chicken, 2 kg chicken, how they have the weight, right? So I mentioned there, and I here is I mentioned animal1. See everyone properly. So I created this class animal, and this time it has its init method, and it has also its init method. Okay, but what, remember what I want, all the attributes of animal1 should be inherited. That is his weight attribute, that should be inherited. Methods eat and sleep should be inherited, right? Other than that, I should add my own attribute, that is age, and my method fly. So I should have 5 properties. What? Weight, I mean, if I use create an object, I should see 5 things: weight, eat, sleep, age, and fly. In total 5. So let me execute this. Done. Let me create an object. Suppose object is A, and I'm creating an object. How to create the object? Bird1. First of all, go inside and read everyone. How many argument it is asking everyone? Only 1, right? And that is what? Age. But you remember one thing, everyone. Here we have also given a provision of weight that is not appearing here. Can you notice that? Right? And if I execute this even, see, and check my A dot, press tab, can you see we are not seeing the attribute of the animal class? See, everyone, we have an attribute weight now. It has not been inherited. What happened? Can you see? Please check. There is no weight attribute. Can you observe that, everyone? Please tell me. I'm taking it slowly. I'm not running fast. That's why I'm speaking slowly as well, because I know it's a bit complicated, but plus see, everyone. Can you see, is there any weight attribute? Ideally, it should be
No
there or
weight
not?
attribute.
Ideally, it should be there or not?
Yes, it should be there.
Right? Because we are inheriting. Inheriting means every attribute and every method. It should be there. But what happened? Understand actually? What has happened? Why it is not there? What happened actually? When your parent class have an init method, right? And your child class is an init method, then what happens? Your child class init method overrides the init method of parent class. Okay, it is known as constructor overriding. Okay, it is known as constructor overriding. Your child class init method overrides the, understand, overrides the init method of parent class. Overrides. That's why you are not able to see this attribute. So you have to make some provision for the same. You have to make some provision for the same. So how can you do that? Few things you have to do. Okay, you have to adopt few things. First of all, make some provision. What is the provision? We know that Here we need an argument in the parent class. So make a provision of that here as well. So in my child class, I mention here, okay, name whatever you want to give is your choice. Suppose I mention WEIGHT. Whatever name you want to give is your choice. Suppose I can mention just W as well. It's my choice. Okay. So I know that one argument actually I will need for the parent class. So I saw that weight will be needed because it's an attribute. So it will be needed. So W, and I mention here W equals to example 0. First thing that I will do. Okay. After doing that, see properly everyone, I'll come here and I'll mention something super method. Okay. Super method. This is known as super method. Super parenthesis super method. You will put dot this time and you will mention underscore underscore init. Okay. Underscore underscore. So basically it is what? It is the init method of super class. What is your super class? It's parent class. What is a parent class? Animal one class. So without using super, actually what happened? Your child class init method is overriding the parent class init method. But this super class prevents that. It will prevent your overriding. So you have to mention super method, you have to use super method, and the super method will prevent the overriding of init method of animal class. Okay, remember this super method will prevent the overriding. So you will mention super dot underscore underscore init means which init method I'm talking about. This means the parent class. So I mention super dot init. Okay, then again I will mention parentheses, and here you will tell, understand everyone, very important. This is of which class? Sorry, this is of which class? Bird one or animal, everyone? I just told you. Who is the super class of this bird one? Animal class, right? So this is belongs to which? This init method belongs to which class? Animal class only, right? It belongs to animal class. So animal class init method has one argument. What is that? Weight. So you have to write here, okay? Among the variables that you have used here, which variable you want to use for your parent class? So what is that? That is nothing but your W. So mention here W. Age was originally available there, right? Age was originally there. Why we introduce this W? So that we can accommodate this weight as well of the parent class. So now here you have to tell, okay, out of these, okay, which one you are referring to your parent class. Is it fine, everyone? Tell me what I've written here and what it will do. Purpose is clear.
Sir, I'm having a confusion.
Tell me.
Sir, why did we root W equal to 0 and W after
Remember, it is
init?
a default argument. You can put W only, no problem. I just explained, right? If you don't put this 0 value, what happened in the functions? Remember, it is mandatory. Then it becomes mandatory arguments. If I don't
Yes, sir, but
supply, yeah.
why didn't we root WGST directly? Why
Anything you
did
can
we
write. No, no,
repeat it?
just randomly I put anything you can put. It's your choice. Don't want to confuse you. Mean this way that you have to mention the same name that is available here. It's your choice. Okay, I can mention WGST, no problem. If you want this, acceptable without any problem. It's your
But sir,
choice.
then how the system will associate it with WGST?
Sorry. Can you
Like,
repeat once again? Mhm,
how will the system associate with WGST? Like we are mentioning in bird one class,
mhm,
W equal to 0 and
mhm.
super dot init then W.
No,
Then
no,
how the
same
system?
thing has to mention. Whatever you will mention here, same thing you have to mention here. Exactly same thing.
Okay,
Okay.
but how will the system know that it is the same WGST?
No, see, you
We
wrote
are
here,
writing.
and I'm telling you, see, you wrote here something. You will take this argument from the user. Okay. Now in this method, this init method is of which class? A bird one class or animal class? Which is the super class of bird one?
Animal class, animal
Animal
one,
class, right? So this init method belongs to which class? This this init method belongs to your
animal class,
animal class.
animal one.
So in animal class, now you are telling here, okay, out of these two, tell me which one corresponding to animal class. You're telling here, out of these arguments that two you have mentioned here, AG and WGHT, out of these two, which one belongs to init class? So you mention here,
Okay,
WGHT belong to init class. So automatically you are mentioning here, na? Explicitly you are mentioning, not mandatory that you will mention AG here. Wait, you can mention AG here, no problem. But remember, you should mention here what? What you should mention? You should mention here whatever belongs to your animal class. So you have mentioned two arguments here, AG and WGHT. Now you have to tell out of these two, which one is actually belongs to your init class of init method of animal1 class. That's what you are mentioning here. This is what I'm repeating. See this one. What I did is, if I don't use this, okay, or if I don't use this, what was happening? What we were seeing, we saw that, right? This init method was completely overridden. Can you see somewhere? Wait. Can you see somewhere? Wait. That means it was overridden.
No.
So what you want this time? You want to prevent overriding. Overriding should not happen. Okay. For overriding to not happen, what do you need? You need a method known as super method. Okay. And you will mention super dot underscore underscore init. Means you are mentioning here that you have to use it. Please don't do override. Okay. Init method. And within the parentheses, you have to tell, okay, because you need an argument here. Of course, you will use create an instance of bud1 class. When you are creating a instance of bud1 class, make a provision so that you can also supply the value of argument for the init method of this. So you mention any name that you want to give. It's your choice. That's what I mentioned W there. So you can mention anything that you want to mention. Anything. You can leave it default. You can put it 0. You can put it 10. Whatever you want to mention. Okay. Or you can leave it WGST. If you put it WGST, that means it becomes a mandatory argument. User has to supply at any cost. Okay. That's why I was putting 0. Now in the init method, here you have to tell out of these arguments, AG and WGST, please tell me which one actually belongs to this. Because here, how many arguments are there? Only one, WGHT, right? This one. So how I can take this value means out of these two values, which one value is for this init method? Out of these two, which one value is for which init method? AG or W? If I mention AG, okay. So whatever first argument you will pass, that will go and become your WGHT. Okay. If I mention WGST here, then whatever second argument is, that will go and that will take the WGST. So whatever I will mention here, AG and WGST, whatever is my choice, whatever I mention. If I mention WGST, that is my second argument. So while I will create an object of this, then while I will supply the argument, then the second argument that I will supply, understand? The second argument supply, what I will supply, that will actually become the argument of this init method. This is because this is argument of which method? This is what method? This is super class. What is super class of this? Super class is your animal1 class. So here you are supplying this WGHT actually belongs to which class? Your super class. And what is a super class? Animal1 class. So you are explicitly mentioning here. Tell me, Hardik, now.
Yes, sir, that is clear. But what will we do if we have multiple variables in init method? Like we are right now only mentioning WGST.
You
But what if we
you have
actually
10, 15, 16, doesn't matter. Suppose you have one more here in init method. Okay, no problem. Suppose you have one more attribute you decided. Suppose self.height. Okay. Suppose I put HGHT. So I put one more argument here, of course. If we are mentioning this way, I can hard code or I can give it. It's my choice. Okay. So I mention HGHT equals to 0. Now this time, how many arguments this init method needs? 2 arguments, right? So you will make a provision for 2 arguments here, like this. HGHT equals to 0. And now you will tell, okay, out of these 3, which 2 are for your parent class? So you will mention weight and HGHT. Now tell me.
yes, sir, now clear.
Okay. I need out everyone. Anyone is having, please tell me. Come on, everyone. At least say something. If no doubt is there, at least say no doubt. Or if doubt is there, just tell, please.
No, sir.
Clear, clear. Okay. So let me delete this. This one is not needed. And even this one is not needed. I hope I'm not going fast. Okay. I hope I'm not going fast. I'm going too slow just because I know how little bit tricky this is. This is why people get scared of. But if you understand the core concept easily, okay, and just remember, just revise, everything will be fine. Okay. So I think everything is done now. If I execute this time, okay, and I come here and go inside, can you see how many arguments it needs this time, everyone? Can you observe?
Yes, sir. 2 arguments.
Earlier, how many it was taking? Only 1.
1.
Right now, see, if I mention here, suppose age is 2, comma, and weight is 10. Let me execute this. Okay. And now here, if I will check, this actually has prevent overriding. So even this method, this attribute will be visible. That is weight. If I press A dot, can you see everyone? The weight is also there. Can you see? If I check, remember what I've supplied for the second argument? Second argument is 10. That will become what? WGHT. And WGHT you gone here. And that will become your argument of init method. And what is the init method we are having in the init method? That is for the weight. So if I come here and click on weight, check everyone, I should get 10. Right? And this first two is belong to what? AG. AG is belong to this particular attribute of this bird1 class only. So if I check it here, A dot age, I will get 2 only. Clear? And this is very common question. Okay, what is the role of super method? So remember, it prevents your constructor overriding. It prevents your constructor overriding. See everyone properly and tell me. You see, easily see, and I'm not in hurry because concept should be crystal clear. That is prime motive is. What super method has done? It is prevented your constructor overriding. That's a simple thing.
Sir,
Mhm.
can you scroll up a little? There's
Sure,
one
sure.
more thing I wanted to ask.
Mhm.
Sir, here you mentioned WGST,
Uh-huh.
and then a few minutes ago you took one more variable, self
Mhm.
dot height. Okay,
Uh-huh.
sir, can you do it again?
Sure. Yeah. Let me copy these, right?
No,
Because
no, not whole thing. Just self dot height after self dot weight.
okay. Uh-huh.
And now
Hmm.
in board1 class,
I have to give some value right here.
huh,
So let me put it argument.
HGST. Yes.
Whatever you put, I will mention. Suppose H I am putting directly. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
So H is equal to 0. Same thing I have to mention here. Whatever is there, right? Okay.
Right.
And now I have to make a provision for this as well here because it needs 2 argument. Na? So I have to make a provision for these 2 argument here itself. Right?
Yes.
So I will mention here example anything. Suppose same name I'm giving H. Okay. And here I will mention what? WGHT and
H.
H. Okay. Now let me execute this. See, done and done. What happened? Where is error? Okay, I didn't put anything here. Okay, H is equal to 0. Okay, I think it should be done now. Yeah, done. And now see if I see, I will have 3 arguments here. See, right? This weight and H will become what? What we have mentioned here? WGHT and H we have mentioned here for the init method. So these two will become the argument for your super class or parent class. Okay, and first argument will become the argument for the bird class. So if I come here, okay, now 3 arguments are needed. Let me pass suppose 2, and second argument is what? Weight. So weight I am passing suppose 50, and height suppose I am passing to be 10. Let me execute. Okay, and let me check. First of all, suppose age should be 2, right? Which is your attribute of bird class only, right? We have mentioned self.age is equal to age. Let me come here and let me mention this time suppose weight, and weight is this time argument of which class? Your parent class, right? Is attribute of weight animal class, right? So let me come here, execute, and it should be 50 this time. Observe, and now let us one more height. Okay, and it is attribute again of your parent class, right? So it should be your whatever we have passed 10. So it should be 10 this time. Check everyone. Tell me, Hardik, now fine.
Sir, in a board class, can you
Mm-hmm.
scroll up a little?
Uh-huh.
Here we have mentioned def init, then WGST equal to 0 and H equal to 0. So I was asking like, can we use any other names instead of
No, any
WGST?
name,
Only in
That's why
board, only in board.
remember, I told you earlier I mentioned W. You said, sir,
Yeah,
why you
that's
have
why
used
I'm
W? Yeah,
asking.
any name you can give. Any name. Name does not matter here.
Okay.
Okay, name does
But
not matter. Yeah.
in animal class, it will be stay the same, WGHT.
Yeah, it is not matter. It does not matter. It does values will be assigned. Whatever values, suppose I mention here WGHT H. Let it suppose I mention here height. Okay, HEGHT, and here also HEGHT. Okay, let me execute this. And here I mention suppose instead of WGHT I mention H. Whatever I mention W, and here I mention H. Here the names are different.
Yes.
right? And here names are different. Doesn't matter at all. Just you have to mention here name properly. Here mapping should be proper. This should be W. First argument to be W and second argument to be H. Mapping should be correct. Only thing is required. Okay. The mapping
Okay.
should be correct. That's the only thing is required. Okay. So if I execute this and I execute this, see same age will be 2. Your weight will be 50. Check. And your height will be 10. Yeah. So barely matters. Barely matters.
Okay. Clear, sir. Clear.
Okay. Others, please read out. Anyone?
No, sir.
Right. Good. Go ahead. And please do practice. That's why I'm saying you're spending your time. Please at least try to spare at least 10-15 minutes in revising. Otherwise, there is no point. And trust me, Python is going to rule the world for the next 20-30 years for sure. It is not going anywhere. Okay, so please devote your time. You are spending money, so devote your time. And if you find any difficulty in my teaching, you can tell me. I will be honest. I will love to hear. Okay, means you need some modifications in my. I'm not able to explain you properly. If any problem you are facing, you can tell me frequently. Okay, I don't mind. I'm not that kind of teacher at all. Not that kind of teacher. I love to listen feedback so that I can improve myself. Okay, so don't hesitate. Okay, you can ask me. That's why I ask you. Please ask me 1,000 times. I will repeat. Okay, so now let me move ahead. Okay, now what is that? Now I'm coming to multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. So far, what we have done, see, we have used just one class, okay, and inherited its attributes and method in one class. Okay, only one level of inheritance we have used, but we can use multi-level inheritance as well. Okay, we can use multi-level inheritance as well. Getting my point, everyone, what I'm saying? You can have multi-level inheritance as well. Let me do one thing. Let me copy this example animal1 class at the downside. Okay. This is my animal1 class, and let me make only one attribute. Otherwise, it will become too complex for you people to understand. But process will be same. Okay. Only one is sufficient. And let me execute this again. Animal1 done. Let me copy this bird class once again. Okay, and paste it here. And again, I am having one attribute for this bird class and one for arrangement I have to do for this one. So I mentioned let only one W for the same. Okay, and here W for the same. Only one. Done. Let is done. Okay, now see, you want to create one more class this time. This time the class is chicken class. Okay, so you know that chicken is also a bird, right, everyone? But it has some additional feature. Chicken jumps as well, right or wrong, everyone? Okay, so what we want to inherit its property from bird class this time. Okay, we want to inherit its attributes and method from the bird class this time. And remember, bird is inheriting from which class? Animal class. So what we are having two level of inheritance, right or wrong, everyone? This chicken will inherit from bird, and bird is inheriting from animal. So chicken will have what? All the methods and attribute of bird class as well as animal class. This is nothing but multi-level of inheritance. Chicken is inheriting from bird and bird is inheriting from animals. In fact, your chicken will be inheriting all the attributes and method of bird class as well as your animal class. Right? So how can we do that? Very simple. Same process. This time, who will be the parent class for the same? Your bird class. Because bird class is inheriting from animal, and so it will have all the attributes and method of the animal class, and it has added its own attributes and method as well. So it is for this, your parent class is bird class. So I will mention here bird1. Okay, so for this, who is the parent? For this is the parent is bird1. Internally, bird is inheriting from animal. Fine, that is fine. So bird will be inheriting the properties, attributes, and methods of animal class, and all inherit its own attributes and inherit its own method. So this chicken will have what? Everything from the bird as well as animal, because I mentioned bird1 here. So now come here, put a colon. Okay, move ahead, and suppose I have my own init method this time. Perfect again. So def. Now you people can help me out in the same. Okay, underscore init underscore, and I mention self, and suppose it has some attribute, or what is your choice? You want to have an attribute or not? Suppose chicken have color, so I mention one attribute, suppose color, COL. I mentioned col is equal to example. Right now I'm putting some empty text this time like this. Okay. And same time I have to give the provision for, remember what, AG and W as well, right? Otherwise those options will not be visible. If I do that, see, let it be like this only. So I mentioned color is equal to this, and let me put a colon, and before let me mention here self dot, I want to have one attribute known as color. So color is equal to whatever attribute you have mentioned here all. Okay, so this attribute I will declare for chicken method is own attribute color, and I will take the value whatever is being supplied here all. Okay, and suppose I have one more method of its own. So I created an instance method def, and that method is supposed known as jump method. So it's an instance method. So I will mention self here because it's an instance method colon, and I can suppose mention print he/she jumps. Okay, let me do that. Execute. Done. And let me get an instance of the same. Suppose s is equal to chicken. Okay, let me check. Can you see how many argument it is asking everyone? Please tell me how many it is asking.
1.
Only one, right? But see, and also ideally it should have all the attributes available, all the attributes of the bird class as well as the animal class, everything should be available. Let me do that. Okay, let me suppose pass the one argument is asking now. Let me pass red. Done. And let me check s dot. Okay, so of course it has a color, awesome, own attribute. Okay, it has its own method jump. Yes, it is. It is having the method of bird class fly. Yes, it is here. It has a attribute of method of animal class eat and fly. Both are there, but it is not having what? See, age attribute of bird class, right? It does not have the attribute of animal class, that is weight class. See, it is appearing here or not, everyone? So what has happened? Can you tell me the answer? What has happened?
Overriding.
Yes, your method overriding has happened this time. Okay, sorry, constructor overriding has happened.
Constructor
So right,
overriding.
so we have to prevent that. How can we prevent? We just saw.
Super.
Yes, super method. Okay, so we'll come here, we'll mention super parentheses dot init, sorry, dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and within the parentheses now we have to pass the parameter. So before passing the parameter, I have to make the provision for those attributes to be supplied. What are those? One is ag
Age.
and one is, yes, age and weight, right? Age and this is age and this is weight. So any name you can give here. Here name does not matter. Okay, so I can mention here, suppose name A will be recognized by A and weight will be recognized by W. I just mentioned this way and mention suppose A will be equals to example default value I'm giving 0 and weight will be recognized by W, that is value I'm giving 0. Okay, so now that mapping you have to do here. Okay, same thing. Which arguments are for those? In the above class is mentioning AG and W, both the case for the means who's taking care of the previous class? This class, bird class, AG and W. So first and second argument, what do you need to supply? This is for age, this is for weight. So I can mention here A and W here. A and W, that's it. Let me execute this. Okay, and if I check here, I will have 3 arguments. Can you notice everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right now, if I pass here age to be suppose 10 years and weight to be 50, execute this, and now check all 3 attributes will be visible as well. Your color, your age, and your weight. All 3 attributes will be visible. See, age is there, color is there, and weight is there. Can you notice everyone? Age has come, color has come, and weight has come. All 3 are there. Let me check the age. No problem. Age should be what? 10. Let me check. Yes, it is 10. Okay. Let me check the weight. Weight should be 50. Yes, it's 50. Let me check the color. S dot color. It should be red. Okay. And methods are there, of course. All 3 methods are there. S dot eat. If I execute, it does not need any argument. Yeah, done. He or I think what we mentioned there in the eat. Let me check. I mentioned he, she sleeps. That's fine. Eat, sleep is fine. Yeah, everything is fine. Let me execute once again. Animal, animal, animal. Done, 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 done. And now let me check. Yeah, he, she, eat. Okay. Similarly, S dot, suppose fly. He, she flies. And I think S dot jump. Clear, everyone? I think it should be able to do, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
sir, do we always use my super method with init method, or can we use
When
it?
you are when you are using your multi-level inheritance, okay, or when you are using inheritance, at that time you will be required. If your parent class is having init method and you want to prevent overriding, or your child class is having init method and you want to means your child class is having init method, your parent class is also having init method, you want to prevent that overriding.
But sir, if I declare my variable without using init method,
Then don't need. Then don't
then
need. No need it. Then don't need it. I told you.
okay.
But that actually, what is the recommended method? The init method is the recommended method. I told you in the beginning
Yes, sir.
itself. Okay. If you are not using init method for your initializing your variables, then no need. This problem will not be there because init method is not there. So how it will be overridden, right?
Right.
Yeah, it will not be overridden. So no problem is there. Okay.
Got it.
So let me move ahead. Okay, and let me come here and let me show you. See, so we have created an instance S of which class? Chicken class. So let me check one thing. S dot is instance, or directly we can use is instance method. There is a method known as is instance. Okay, and I want to check. Go inside. What is check? Object and class. Check, is it an object of some particular class? So let me check. Is S object of chicken class? I'm asking. S is the object of chicken class. Let me execute this. It is saying true. Yes, I am. Okay. Let me copy this. Let me check. Is S the instance of bird1 class? What is the name exactly? Yeah, bird1. Okay. Yes, it is. Check. Is S the instance of animal1 class? Yes, it is. Because it is what? Remember, this is it's a parent class. This is grandparent class. Okay. Remember, S is an object of chicken class, okay, which is an inherited property from bird1 class, and bird1 is an inherited property from animal class, right? So this is S is an instance of chicken class as well, bird1 class as well, animal class as well. And remember, what is the mother class of everyone? I discussed that in one day. Mother class of all the classes?
Object.
Yes,
Object.
object. So see if I mention there S and I mention object. See what I'm getting? Right? So everything is an instance of object class. Whatever you create, that is an instance of object class. Whatever you create, that is instance of object class. Okay. Now come to a very, very interesting thing and one of the very popular thing, that is your multiple inheritance. Okay. So what is multiple inheritance? Remember, when we are inheriting, the attributes and methods, okay, attributes and methods of more than one class. Okay, when we are inheriting the attributes and method of more than one class, then it is known as multiple inheritance. Above one was multi-level, it is multiple. Okay, inheritance, right? Multiple inheritance. Wow. That. Okay, let me come ahead. What do you mean by that? Suppose I want to create a arithmetic class, okay, in which I will add only arithmetic operations. Okay, suppose due to some reason I want to create some functions which will be able to perform some arithmetic operations, right? So I'm creating my own class which will have the capability to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, so how will I create the class? I will create a class. Okay, and I'm giving the name to be suppose arithmetic. Okay, I put a parenthesis here. Okay, and I'm creating few instance method because I want to, I don't want right now attributes. I just want a method. So I can have that option. I'm having only method and those method which will be able to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so I'm creating an arithmetic class. Okay, so how will I create a class method? Def again, and method. Suppose first method I want is add method. Okay, and I'm creating instance method. So I mention self, and suppose I will need two arguments from the user a comma b. Okay, and after that I put a doc string here, something like this. How do we put doc string? In triple quotes, right? This method returns a plus b, something like this. Okay, and after that I want to say I want to return just a plus b. Then my first method is done. After that, let me copy this directly. I create my second method, and this time method is your subtraction method. Okay, and I mentioned this method returns a minus b, and I return what I'm returning this time, a minus b. So if I'll pass a and b, it will return me a minus b, the result of a minus b. Similarly, third method I'm using mul, that is multiplication. Okay, and I'm saying this method returns a into b, and what we want to return, a into b. Okay, one more method, def. Suppose division. So again, let me copy this directly. Why I'm typing, yeah, def's division. Okay, so I'm saying this method returns a divided by b, and I mentioned that return a divided by b. So this function will return a plus b, this function will return a minus b, this function will return a into b, this function will return a into b. Let me execute this. So this class has been constructed, and now I can use it, right? Create an object of the same. Example a is equal to arithmetic. Done. My object has been created. It's ready to use. See, I have four methods. See? Addition, division, multiplication, and subtraction. Right? Addition, division, multiplication, and subtraction. So I can use these methods. For example, I want to use the method add. I can put parentheses, go inside, and read its doc string. But it needs two arguments, a comma b, and what it returns a plus b. So I can pass here and check. Example 3 and 4 I passed. So it will return me 7. So any method I want to use, can be used. Any method I want to use. Okay. Remember what is happening. You string class you have created, right? So string class, oh sorry, you have not created, automatically it access. Suppose I mention here Python, right? So also what I created when I mentioned string is equal to Python, so automatically an object of which class has been constructed, everyone?
String.
A string automatically has been constructed. So whatever attributes and methods are available in the string class, how can we access them? S dot this, right? So same way somebody has created a class known as string class, which you are able to use this way. You are mentioning it taking the help of this, but actually this is also creating what is an object of a string class, and you are able to access all the method of that particular class which are available, right? And whatever I will change, make the changes this object, so it will impact only this object, not other object of the string class. That's why this has been created at the instance level. That's why I created self, so that whatever impact they will make, they will stay at the instance level only. So same thing is here. Right now, see, I created one more class this time. Okay. And that class suppose does only one operation known as, suppose a class name is concat. Okay. So instance, I want to create the concat class. So suppose whatever name you want to give, concat or string, suppose I mention a string, that is better so that you can understand. String. Yeah, fine. A string class. Okay. I put a colon and I define one instance method. So I mentioned def concat. Okay. And within that, I mention self, which will take two arguments from the user, a comma b. Okay. So remember, whatever you have studied in the functions means you want to take multiple argument from the user, whatever you want to mention, you can use there, star and something, whatever you want to use. Okay. Same thing applies here because we are writing a simple function here, colon. Okay. And I want to say this function as a doc string, this function returns concatenation of a and b. Okay, concatenation of string a and b. Okay, and how the concatenation works, we know that it should return A plus B, right? But A has to be string and B has to be string. Only then it will return concatenation. If somebody pass numbers, so it will do the addition, right? Have you seen that? Remember everyone? This plus operator behaves differently. If I have a string, suppose I mention A plus B, what it gives me? AB. Okay. But if I mention 1 and I mention 2, what I will get? 3. So this operator has a polymorphism, right? Means many forms it has. With the string data, it performs concatenation. With the integer data, it performs, or with the numeric data, it does the addition, right? So we have to ensure that at any cost, it should do only concatenation, right? So we have to ensure that this operator should be string and this operator should be string. So let me pass here string method, str, and pack A inside this, so that it is guaranteed this A will become a string. Similarly, str here and pack inside this. So we'll ensure that your B, this operator is a string and this operator is string. So guaranteed now it will return a concatenation. Let me do that. Run, done. Let me create an instance of the same. Suppose S equals to string. Okay, done. And right now we have in the string class, we have mentioned one method only. So only one method will be available. See concat method. Let me check. What it does, function returns a concatenation of string A and B. Let me pass, suppose anything. Let me pass even 3 and 4. I'm passing a number, right? But it will give me 34 as a string. Why? Because we have ensured that A and B become string. Okay, A and B become string. That's why we have ensured that. So it is returning concatenation, whatever you will pass. You pass an alphabet there, whatever you pass. Okay, it will take that and do the concatenation without any problem. Whatever you pass there. Okay, now see everyone. What I want this time, okay? So there are two classes which are existing. One class is arithmetic and one class is a string. What I want, instead of that, I want something which should have the capability of performing arithmetic operations as well as concatenation. I want to combine the attributes and methods of two different classes this time. One class is a string class, which has the capability of concatenation. One class, arithmetic class, which is the capability of performing arithmetic operations. What I want to combine the attribute inherit. I want to say that I want to inherit the attributes and method of this class as well as this class. So two different classes. Okay. So I want to inherit the attributes and method of both different classes to make my super class capable of doing additions, subtraction, multiplication, division. At the same time, it is able to work with the string data as well. At the same time, it is able to work with the string data as well and do concatenation for me. Okay. So if that is your requirement, what we can do, we can use multiple inheritance. And how will we do that? Very simple. I can mention my class, what, and whatever name you want to give. Suppose I mention this is my super class. Okay, and this time within the parentheses, instead of mentioning just one class, you will mention two classes. Okay, you will mention two classes. One class is what? Arithmetic. Okay, and second class is what? Your string class. You can put a colon there, right? And just I want to create, I want to inherit the properties. I'm not adding anything else. I just mention pass. Okay, I just want to inherit the attributes and method of arithmetic class and string class. I don't want to add something of my own. If I want to add, I can add further. We know how to add methods and even attributes. I know that. I don't want to do that for now. I just create that. Done. That has been done. Let me create an instance of this. Okay. Suppose I mention C is equal to super class. Okay. Let me check. Okay. Doesn't need argument. Awesome. Done. Let me check it, everyone. It should have how many methods? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as well as concatenation method. C dot. Can you check, everyone? Addition, concatenation, division, multiplication, subtraction, everything is available here. And you can check, you can use them. See, C dot add 3, 4, 7. C dot concat 3, 4. Same I'm doing, but this time I should get 34 as a string. See, everyone. This is very, very powerful, very powerful. Okay, how much time you are saving, right? By just, you have already string your classes available, right? You can take the help of those classes here. How powerful it is. And what you can do, see, that is how I actually practically follow. Okay, suppose what I do, I open a notepad file. Okay, and within that notepad file, I copied some classes which I've created, like this class. Okay, where is my notepad gone? Here it is here. Okay, and I copied one more. Suppose this class. Yeah, like this. Okay, I did this. Two different classes I mentioned in one file. Copy it, save as, and I want to save it in my present working directory, right? Which is C, users, and Dell. Okay, make it all files, and I want to save it. Suppose class sample .py. Just remember the name, class sample.py. Okay, save. Okay, close it. Done. So what I can do actually, whenever I create some important classes, which is having your all the attributes and the method that you require, which you may require in the future again, So what I can do, I can just come here and I can mention here from. Okay, your what is the file name? Remember, class. Let me press tab. I think it should capture automatically class sample. Yes, import. Okay, if I mention a star here, okay, it will import all the classes. Okay, it will import all the classes that you have mentioned there, right? But I want to import what? I want to import example arithmetic class. I think name is what is the name exactly I've copied? Arithmetic. Yeah, arithmetic. Okay, execute this. Done. Now see, your class has been imported. Now you can use it the way you want. It is ready. See, I create an object. A is equal to arithmetic. Use it the way you want. See, done. Now all your methods are at your disposal. Use it the way you want. A dot. See, all the methods are available for the arithmetic class. Right? You want to import a string class. Fine. String. Done. Execute. Now you can use it. Create an instance of the same means object. Suppose A is equal to string this time. Done. Check it. You will have concat method like I pass 3, 4. Okay. Huge power that you can have. Okay, so you can create your classes of your own, and whenever you want to use it, you can use it the way you want. Okay, so whenever you're writing the code and you think, okay, this thing can be very much important for me in the later cases, right? So create a class of the same. Keep it with some time with you. Okay, in a notepad file somewhere as a py file, save with you. Whenever required, you can use them. Even you can give this file to someone of your friend. Okay, please use it the way you want to use. Any number of method you think it is important, because see, I have mentioned a few functions here now, but in real time scenario, I've mentioned simple functions. Okay, but depending upon your work, you may even write some complex functions there. Okay, like to calculate profit, how much compound interest is there. You create a one function of the compound interest. Okay, you create this class for a banking application in which there's a compound interest, simple interest, EMI calculator, everything. You just gave your class name example, banking calculation. Okay, and you mentioned all your important methods in your class. Just use that. And whenever you require, just import that class and use it the way you want. Quickly, you don't have to write a complete code here. And when somebody is using this, when I import this, I just write a statement, not this one. I'm just using a.arithmetic. And after that, I'm directly using. How you know what is the code behind this arithmetic? Nobody knows, right? Where it is. You can give it to the user. You are making your life easier for what? For the persons who are using it. You can directly type the command from class sample import arithmetic. He has to just create an object of the same and use it like a dot, whatever we did, right? This way. Very simple way. A dot, whatever method you want to use it. It doesn't know what is the code written behind it. So what you are doing, you are doing abstraction, hiding unnecessary detail from the user. Okay, you are making his life damn easy. You're making his life damn easy. And why I'm telling you, actually, very soon, within 5 to 6 sessions, we will be working on machine learning algorithms. Okay, so for Same process is there. For example, I import a library here, import sklearn, which is a library for machine learning algorithm, right? I will be importing my machine learning algorithm same way, like from sklearn dot linear models import example linear regression, like this. So same kind of statement I will be seeing. And this is what, again, a class for which the code is written somewhere in the sklearn library. You don't have to worry what is the code written behind that. Being a user, we don't have to worry. I can directly use it. How? I will create an object of this. Suppose the created object is model equals to like this linear regression. I can pass few parameters. It needs few parameters. That is a different thing. Okay. So it needs few parameters this way. Okay. But what is the code running behind that? That is not visible to us. It is making our life easy. We don't have to write every code. Tack. It will make our life that tough. But by creating, somebody's imported this sklearn library and they're making my life damn easy. I can just create an object of the same like this. And when I create it, see, object has been created. I will have some methods and attribute for the same model dot. See, press tab. Can you see, everyone? Right? So we have some attributes and methods available for the same class. This is what, again, one class known as linear regression. From that class, you created an object known as model. And again, we'll have an attribute and method available here. Okay, so this is what? This is an object of which class? Linear regression class. So it will have what? All the attributes and method of linear regression class. Tell me, everyone, is it clear? How important it can be. You should understand, first of all, how important and how much helpful this thing can be for you.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
sir, what is class sample?
Now, this is, remember, I give a file name, Python file name I gave. You forgot, I think.
Okay,
I mean,
that notepad file.
yeah,
when you
notepad
do-
file. I created a user, gave it the name. See, class sample.py file. Class, it should be here itself. See this one. This is the file. Okay, where I pasted all my classes. Right? Here I pasted two classes now, arithmetic and string classes.
Sir.
Okay, and give it the name. Yes, sir, please.
I wanted to ask one more question.
Uh-huh.
It's related with the function only and the assignment which you had given.
Uh-huh.
There, you asked to take 3 arguments from the user,
Mm-hmm.
and the third argument is the operation.
Yes,
So,
yes.
I wanted to ask whether in a function, can we supply argument instead of string, instead of number, the symbol?
Sir,
How can we do it?
anything you can pass inside, no problem. Anything you can pass, anything you can pass.
But
Operate.
for symbol, every symbol will have its own ASCII code. So do we have to give an ASCII
No,
code?
not ASCII code. Don't worry. That's what the trick is actually. Whatever user will supply, okay? Whatever user will supply, accordingly, you have to use. That's why I mentioned that you have to make a conditional statement this time.
Right.
Getting that point? You have to make a condition. Suppose I pass plus sign, example. Okay, I passed a plus sign. So you have to check whether user has supplied third argument as a plus sign. Plus signs means what you have to do? Addition.
A plus B, huh? No,
Right.
that logic was there in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I was having a doubt whether can we pass that argument.
No, you can pass the argument. You can pass the argument. No problem. Yeah, you can
Okay.
pass. You can pass in form of string as well. No problem, right? If you are facing problem, always check. Always, that's what I experiment. Okay, always whatever task is given to open it and try. Okay, it is accepting or not. If not accepting, is there any way I can pass inside?
Okay.
Okay, always experiment this way, sir. That's why I given the question and didn't give the hint so that
Yes.
people can. Yeah, that's why I didn't give the hint. So you should experiment. Okay, how can I pass? Because if directly I mention, you will directly use that. Then way means you will not learn the second way. Yeah, that's why my objective is. I intentionally didn't give the hint so that people can try on their own, do the mistakes, and from those mistakes they can learn. Okay, this is not the way to pass the value inside. What is the
Yeah.
other way of passing the value inside?
I was just thinking, and
No issue,
but
sir.
I
no
was
issue.
not trying.
And I always try, sir. That's best practice
Okay.
to learn is always try. Just
Yes,
type, sit on the system and type your code, and definitely you will find some solution, and that solution will remain in your brain forever.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That is the best part. That's why I give a smaller hint, not bigger hint, so
Yes,
that
yes.
people can try at least.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So can I end for the day, everyone? Continue tomorrow. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, everyone. Bye.